Some serious issues.
Some serious issues. Because
Chaos.
like Carol was saying, she owns a business and she has a personal life.
Right.
And you can't always intertwine those things.
Exactly.
Because you pastor a church.
That's correct.
So your wife is not a minister.
No, she's
Now,
not.
she can be beneficiary of personal effects, but she can't be pastor of glory of God.
No, she can't.
That wouldn't be very smart, even though you trust her very much.
Right.
You love your mother, but she's not a minister, but she can't become.
That's right.
The minister.
She cannot be pastor of the church.
Exactly. So we got to understand there's different levels
Of trust.
of trust.
Right.
And I think it's very important that we let the public know that as well.
Exactly.
It's important that you at least have somebody on there, but we want to make sure the right person is over the right thing. And you can have multiple people to do multiple things. You don't have to leave everything too.
And that was one thing that you're stating, John, with our sister Deborah.
Okay.
Deborah has left me the executor over her children's estate,
Right.
but she did not leave me the guardian of her children.
Because she know you'll whoop them.
Yes. So we have different ideas about discipline. So, but you just, as you just stated, you have different levels that you need the people to work on.
Right.
So there are different things you need them to carry out for you.
Exactly. Because you want people to go by your wishes.
Exactly.
Not what they want
want to
to.
do.
And I heard the Queen say that earlier. You have some people have a different agenda.
That's right.
You got to be
Amen.
careful. Now, do you all trust strangers more than you would a family member? I'm going to start with Brother Pace on that. I'm going to skip Pastor Body and I'm going to go to Brother Pace. Would you trust a stranger over your own family?
Yes, it depends on who the stranger is.
Okay.
you know.
All right. Let's talk about that.
If it was, let's say, someone from Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Okay, that you
came in.
never met
I
before.
never met, but I heard it was a reputable company, that they've been in business for years, and they did the right thing down through the years. Yes, I would trust someone like that.
Other than your family member?
That's right.
Pastor Body, would you trust a stranger other than your family member?
It depends on what the situation is.
Okay.
Because I have a relative, I could not trust him with money because of his addiction problem.
Right. So you would trust a stranger
I would
with it.
trust a stranger with my money before I would my relative.
Okay.
And so you have to, again, have the knowledge and understanding. You got to know the person who you are dealing with in order for you to trust them. When it comes to my funeral arrangements, I trust Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Okay.
Because the funeral home has been open 30 years, been owned by the same family the whole 30 years. And as a funeral home, you have proven yourself to be trustworthy, responsible, and reliable to fulfill their family's wishes when they come in for funeral arrangements and funeral services.
Carol, that's a difficult question, isn't it?
It is.
When people say trust a stranger
More than
sometime
family.
over my own family, what do you think about
I think
that?
it's the level of professionalism, John. Everyone in your family can't do professionally what you need done.
Okay.
So it's not to downgrade them. It's not to put them down. It's to let them know that you only have a certain knowledge of what I need done. And I need them, a professional, to do it. The lawyer may be a stranger to me until I get to their office, get everything in order. And then they become that person that's professional for me legally. My family, there's not a lawyer.
Right. They think they are sometimes.
Sometimes they do. And they give you certain information
They give you some
and
advice, won't they? Not always
But
good advice.
It's got to be, to me, you got to separate professional and personal.
Right. And especially with your doctor. Sometimes you got to trust a doctor because he's a doctor.
Exactly. Them
And not the
homemade
family
remedies.
members, telling you just wrap it and keep on going. What do you think about that, trusting a stranger, Queen?
I have to agree with the panel on that. It
Okay.
depends on the stranger and what they're doing. Like you said, if it's a doctor and the doctor's told you something and a family member disagrees, of course the doctor has the profession behind him and he knows, and your family member may not be that knowledgeable. A judge or a lawyer.
Or Undertaker.
Or Undertaker. Or a pre-need counselor.
Exactly.
Somebody that's been
Opposed to
doing
your
business
family
for
member
over
saying,
15,
You don't
20
need to do that.
years.
you don't need to do that.
Right.
That's interesting. I tell you, you know who I trust the most, y'all? Is me. I mean, I trust that I'm never going to tell it on myself. I trust that I'm never going to steal from
Now,
myself.
you're right about that, Mr.
I trust that if something needs to be done,
I need to do it.
I know I'm
right.
not going to let myself down. And I think we have to be aware of that when it comes to funeral business. If I really want my business taken care of, I need to take care of it. What do you think about that, Pastor Bach?
That's correct. Because you know what you want, how you want it, who you want to do what, who you want to say. and you know what color you want to be in, you know what color casket you want, you know it better than anybody else.
Okay.
So why not write it down and get a pre-need, get it in will, leave them instructions, and guess what? Not only are you leaving your family a peace of mind, but you are still in charge and you are still handling your funeral services.
Right. I know a lot of my friends say, if I do something, I'm going to do it by myself. Because then I don't have to worry about nothing coming back. Carol, what do you think about trusting yourself to do it?
You have to trust yourself, John.
Okay.
You make all of your decisions now. Everybody just state, make all your decisions at your death. Now, you have to have someone else to be able to pick up the phone and call and let them know you passed away. You need someone else to carry out your wishes because there's certain things that someone else, a live person, has to do.
Right.
But you need to be totally in charge of everything that happens to you and with you. Good and bad, you are the person in control. So stay in control.
What do you think about trusting yourself? Do you trust yourself, Brother Pace?
Yes, definitely. And it brings to mind a young man that I wrote a pre-need on. Matter of fact, yesterday, he was sick. And he said, I'm going to do this now because I know I've left wishes what I want done, but I know it won't get done like I want it done unless I do it myself.
That's right.
And we did the pre-need, we wrote everything down, and he knew exactly what he wanted. I was really surprised. He knew exactly from the casket to the type of service
He might watch the Ask Undertaker show.
exactly what he wanted.
He included the horse and carriage.
Horse and carriage.
And all of that.
He picked out the gold casket. He's got elite
Pallbearers.
Pallbearers.
That's all right.
Yes.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Queen, do you trust yourself?
I trust myself next to God.
Okay,
Actually.
all right.
I trust myself better than anybody else.
And since I can't make God the executor, and
Not
since
right.
since God himself is not going to come down and do my pre-need.
That's why I pre-planned ahead of time. That's why I
Okay.
got everything in order ahead of time because I trust me and I know what I want. Nobody else knows my wishes. And now they don't have to. Everything's already done.
Can not trusting somebody y'all bring division?
Most definitely.
So if I didn't trust my pastor, it's going to be hard for him to lead me spiritually.
Yes, it's going to be hard for him to give you any kind of direction
Okay.
because you don't trust him. And that's why we as pastors have to be careful how we live our lives before our parishioners because they hold us to a higher standard. There's a certain lifestyle we should live that they will trust us all the way to the very end. And it's important that we always keep that in mind, that as a pastor, we have everybody watching us, and we have to live a life, an example that they would trust us with everything. They can come in and talk to us about any and everything.
Right.
It's a sad pastor that you go to the council with you, and one of your church members call you with your information that you just shared with your pastor.
No, that wouldn't be very
It's
good.
not trustworthy.
Carolyn, can not trusting of maybe a family member cause division?
It definitely can, John. Especially if, in my case, like with my husband, it's hard to have that division or that trust. You're going to walk into a home every day and you're looking upside somebody else's head. You're looking out of your eye. You go to sleep every night in
Reading
that same
text messages, going through emails,
that makes
driving
no
yourself
sense.
crazy,
Driving yourself crazy. Why
stalking
would
somebody,
you be
following
in that
somebody.
relationship? So it definitely, and you have to let them know that you trust them. They have to earn your trust. They have to keep your trust, and in turn, you have to be the same to them.
Queen of pre-need, should your family trust that you're going to have everything in order?
They really should, Mr. Beckwith. Like you said earlier, it is your wishes. It is your decision. You trust yourself more than you do anybody. I know I do.
Okay.
And your family shouldn't have to wonder or worry about what you want. All that should already be done ahead of time, before death occurs with a pre-need.
King, should your family trust you that you're going to have everything taken care of when you pass away?
To a certain extent, they should, but it's actually your job to put these things in place.
Right.
Make sure all of it's in place with a pre-need where we have a memorial guide and we can put it all in writing. Put that policy in there when you get it, and it's all there.
Carolyn, if that will is not done, it's going to bring some division in it.
It's going to definitely bring some division. People are going to walk out of that house or walk out of the office, wherever they are. They're not going to speak to each other ever again. And that just makes no sense. First and foremost, God, of course, wants us to be family. and family needs to stay together. So you need to let everybody know, even before you pass away, what's going on. And if they're really not listening to you, then speak again at your death. But if you don't have that in place, then they're going to argue, and it's going to be total chaos. Don't do that to your family.
And we don't want to do that to anybody. So to make sure that we understand this trust, first of all, Pastor Bob, we need to put our trust in God.
That's
Most
right.
That's right.
And then
Amen.
second of all, we definitely need to trust ourselves. And some things we
right.
are responsible for. And our family trusts that we're going to make sure those things taken care of. Then we make sure the right people are beneficiaries,
Yes.
the right age, not a deceased person.
Exactly.
Make sure everybody has this insurance, pre-need, and wills in place. And people need to trust that that's going to be taken care of.
Yes,
And whoever I make beneficiary and whoever I leave my money to, I need to trust they're going to do the right thing with it.
With my money.
Bring it to the funeral. Pay for that funeral.
That's right.
And they're going to divide it the way I asked them to.
Exactly.
Yeah, so trust is a very important issue. All right, watch us every Saturday night right here on Channel 34.1 and every Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m. right here on Channel 21. Listen to us every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. on Heaven 97. That's 970 a.m. on your dial. May God bless you. May God keep you is our prayer. We are stepping up the level of our services. Our goal is to treat your loved ones with the respect they deserve. We are taking our services to new heights. We are stepping in a new direction. Step into the new millennium with Golden Gate Funeral, where service begins and never ends.